Hiss Jay. I'm Quirky Beadwork. I hope you take a moment to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am trying to post here more, not just my VODs. I really like the vlogs we were doing. So hopefully I'll be able to post more and maybe do some other videos as well. I hope you also check out everyone else is doing the vlog along. Everyone's been having amazing videos and I'm so excited and am gushing about all the videos everyone's been putting out. Today is day 7, which means today's question is, what parts of your culture are you excited to pass along to the next generation? Everyone was supposed to submit a question for this vlog along, and this is actually the question I submitted, so I'm especially excited about it and nervous. For all my other questions, I've been writing at least a couple notes or writing my response, like a summary of it, and then just kind of reading it and then adding things that I thought could be added in as I went along and recorded. I didn't write anything for this one just because I didn't have time, and then I don't know. I like how chill everyone else's videos have been, so I'm just gonna do this off the top of my head. It might be a little bit longer, who knows? And I don't know if I'm gonna edit it down like I've kind of done the other ones. But yeah, what parts of my culture am I excited to pass along? This is something I've been like thinking about, especially the last couple years after becoming a mom. I'm just so excited to share things with my daughter Rosie and my new baby boy who's not born yet and still doesn't have a name. That's an issue for another time. But I'm excited to, I don't know, there's too many things. And I know it was my question. I probably should have had something in mind, but, and I know this is a cop out answer, but like everything. I've stated before that I grew up off my res, but I still was kind of in a native community. It's still predominantly white where I live, but there's enough of a native community that I didn't feel like I was missing like a whole lot. Probably like I was missing stuff about my exact tribes. But the great thing about where I live, where I'm continuing to live, is because our native population is around basically like a school. Like our longhouse that I grew up in is like a school longhouse. But because of that, we get natives from like all over the country. So it's basically a longhouse of many nations. So I was just exposed to so many different tribal customs, stories. It's fun to see who has similar creation stories. My tribes are plains tribes, but I live over here on like not like the coast, but like pretty close to the coast. So I have a lot of like coastal tribes I'm with. Everyone's food's different. It's just such a melting pot of like all these different tribes and cultures, and all the art is really good. I do a lot of beadwork, obviously, quirky beadwork, but I also use like a lot of local items in my beadwork. I do a lot more dentillium beadwork, whereas my cultural beadwork from my tribes would be more porcupine quills, which I am starting to get into. But I like that it's just a mishmash of stuff. So I feel like even though my kids aren't being raised on the res or raised in even the state where my tribes are, because they're more like Oklahoma, Louisiana, I just love that they're going to be surrounded by all these people that'll care about them because they've basically care about me. We're family. Being able to be next to local powwows. So if they want to dance, I'm not much of a dancer. I'm very clumsy. As people know on my streams, I'm constantly pricking my fingers, but I'm also telling stories of how I like accidentally burn myself on the stove or trip up the stairs. But if they want to do dancing, they have like people that could teach them. I can obviously teach them beading, and I wanted to get into other crafts so I could teach them that if they're interested. I just love that even if I don't know anyone personally, YouTube is such a big tool. I've already seen people teaching you how to do like the crow hop, how to do hoop dancing. Songs are a little harder because you're not supposed to record them, but there's also drum groups where I am. There's so many possibilities, and I can't wait to like share that with them. I can't wait to see what they gravitate towards naturally and then just kind of cultivate that interest. I know so many indigenous artists, like digital art and stuff like that. We can look at videos or whatever, or get tips or resources. I would love to get into like sewing or whatever. And then also, there's so much more representation nowadays. I know when I grew up, there wasn't a lot. We got like a few things that were like stereotypical and bad, but there's more books now. Like even the background of my little PNG tuber is like a page out of a cute little children's illustration book called Powwow Days, which is Rosie's one of her favorite books right now. There's books like that. I constantly am making like a library of books for different ages that I'll pull out when I think is appropriate. But yeah, there's just so much I'm almost foaming at the mouth, ready to share. Also, my family is already getting like regalia ready. Rosie's not even 2 yet, but she has a jingle dress. She has a girl's traditional southern cloth dress. She's got 3 pairs of moccasins. I'm trying to learn how to make baby moccasins, so she'll always have like stuff like that. I carried her around in a cute little cradle board that my mom got her when I first announced I was pregnant with her, and everyone is just so ready to shower these kids in culture that I honestly can't pick a single thing because I'm just like vibrating with excitement. What else? Music. There's constantly like dancing nights here and learn how to powwow dance before the big powwow in May. Even the food, I'm not the best at making fry bread, okay? I need someone to teach me. I'm a good helper, so when we have fry bread sales here, I'm always the one like helping roll out the dough and shaping it or cooking it, but I can't set it up, okay? I've tried and I get the oil too hot, so I'm learning. Hopefully this year I can master some fry bread. But if anyone has tips, please let me know. I make a good res soup, which actually for all you native mamas, it like cured my morning sickness. I made so much res soup because it was like the only thing that I could hold down. Again, I kind of live near the coast ish, so I live like near Colombia and stuff like that. So we get a lot of salmon here. Being a steward at my longhouse, helped cook salmon on the steaks and stuff, or also cooking it in the ground. There's like a lot of traditional food here that people learn to cook or prepare. So excited to share this with my kids who will hopefully share it with their kids. One of the big reasons I decided to go into like streaming and content creation in the first place was before I even had kids, I was doing this or thinking about it. I really just want to make knowledge accessible for people. I've always been taught that you should acquire knowledge to pass it on. So that's a big part of how I live my life. I don't want to cultivate things and then keep it secret. I feel like that's just a waste and that's how traditions die out. So I want to foster this knowledge and then give back to my community and also other communities. Because I was raised in such a melting pot, I really don't try and keep my knowledge based on the community that gave it to me. I'm totally fine with, as long as you're respectful, giving it to almost anyone. I don't know. I'm so excited. And I'm like dying to know what everyone else is saying for this question as well. Trying to think if there's anything else I've missed. Also, I apologize if I talk too fast. I'm just so excited. I talk even faster than I normally do. I'm just so giddy about teaching my kids and anyone about the culture because I'm just so immensely proud about it and the community that raised me. I want to give back so bad. But yeah, thank y'all for listening to me gush about, knowledge and stuff. I know I talk really fast and I mumble and I'm so sorry. Thank you. Mado.